My story on racism. Skin color shouldn't be a reason for conspiracy and hatred. Title: When Justice Turns Its Back, Courage Steps Forward. The morning sun breaks over the quiet town of Fairview. Marcus Reed, a 32-year-old black mechanic, works in a small workshop, his daughter Tasha sitting nearby doing homework. He teases her about her spelling while tightening a bolt on an old truck engine. The air is peaceful until a police siren cuts through it. Sheriff Tom Baker's cruiser pulls up, followed by two deputies. Without warning, Marcus is handcuffed in front of his daughter. The sheriff announces he's being arrested for armed robbery and assault at a convenience store the night before. Marcus protests that he was home all evening with Tasha, but his words fall on deaf ears. Neighbors peek from their porches as the officers shove him into the back of the car. At the station, Marcus sits in a small, dim interrogation room. The sheriff slides a grainy still photo across the table. A dark figure in a hoodie from a store security camera. "That's you," the sheriff says. Marcus shakes his head. "That's not me. My car's different and I was home." The sheriff smirks. "Funny thing, Marcus. Folks like you always say that." Marcus asks for a lawyer. Hours pass before anyone responds. The next morning, District Attorney Richard Lowell holds a press conference outside the courthouse, flanked by reporters and police officers. "We will not tolerate violence in our community," he declares. "We have a suspect in custody and expect a swift conviction." Behind the cameras, Nina Cole, a young black journalist from a local paper, watches closely. Something about the story doesn't add up. Marcus's workshop is vandalized that night. Someone sprays "Thug" in red paint across the door. His employer terminates his contract, saying the company can't be associated with crime. At home, Tasha stays with a neighbor. Her father's absence leaves her terrified and confused. A few days later, Eleanor Grant walks into the detention center. She's a 55-year-old civil rights lawyer with a worn leather briefcase and sharp eyes. "I'm Eleanor," she tells Marcus. "I saw your story. I believe you." For the first time, Marcus breathes a little easier. In court, Eleanor faces an uphill battle. The jury selection results in 12 white citizens, all from the local area. She objects, but Judge Hal Winters dismisses her concern. "Race has nothing to do with justice in this courtroom," he says. The DA grins from across the aisle. The trial begins. The prosecution paints Marcus as dangerous, an angry man with a record of small altercations, exaggerated from trivial events. They show the blurred image again and again. "That's him," the DA insists. Eleanor cross-examines the store owner, who hesitates under pressure. "It was dark," he admits. "I wasn't sure who it was." But the DA redirects him, pushing him to affirm his initial statement. Outside the courthouse, Nina investigates further. She talks to a deputy who worked on the case. He's nervous, looking over his shoulder. "I shouldn't be saying this," he whispers. "But that video, it's been edited." Nina frowns. "Edited by who?" The deputy doesn't answer, but slips her a small flash drive before hurrying away. That night, Nina opens a file on her laptop. The original surveillance footage plays. Longer, clearer. The man in the video has a tattoo on his left hand. Marcus doesn't have one. She knows she's holding the key to the truth. The next day in court, Eleanor presents the new evidence. "This footage was altered," she says. The judge looks uneasy. "Where did this come from?" Eleanor explains the chain of events, but Judge Winters declares it inadmissible. The jury looks indifferent. Marcus's head drops into his hands. Meanwhile, Nina makes a bold decision. She publishes the story online with screenshots and side-by-side comparisons. Within hours, the video spreads across social media. News networks pick it up. Protesters gather outside the courthouse with signs that read "Justice for Marcus" and "Truth cannot be silenced." The state attorney general orders an emergency review. The judge, under mounting pressure, recalls a hearing. The sheriff is called to the stand. He sweats as Eleanor questions him. "Sheriff Baker, did you personally handle the evidence?" He hesitates. "I did." "And did you alter or delete any frames?" "No, are you sure?" Eleanor plays a recording. The deputy's hidden voice admitting to the edit. The courtroom gasps. Baker's face turns pale. Finally, he breaks. The DA told me to clean it up, so we needed a conviction before Election Day. Chaos erupts. The DA denies it, shouting across the courtroom, but his voice is drowned by murmurs and flashing cameras. Judge Winters bangs his gavel. Order, order in this court. When silence returns, Eleanor turns to the jury. You've seen how far they want to bury the truth. Marcus Reed is not on trial here, justice is. The jury deliberates for hours. The town waits outside under gray skies. When they return, the foreman stands and says, "We find the defendant not guilty." The courtroom explodes with emotion. Tasha runs into her father's arms. Eleanor smiles, tears in her eyes. Days later, national news outlets cover the aftermath. DA Richard Lowe resigns in disgrace. Sheriff Baker is charged with perjury and obstruction of justice. The county pays Marcus $12 million in damages for wrongful imprisonment and emotional trauma. He reopens his workshop with a new sign, Reed and Daughters Auto Repair. Months later, the annual town fair returns. Marcus and Tasha walk through the fairgrounds hand in hand. People greet them, some sheepishly, others with genuine warmth. Nina films from a distance for a follow-up story. The mayor invites Marcus to the stage to speak. He looks out at the crowd, white, black, young, old. They tried to bury me in lies, he says softly into the microphone. But they forgot. Seeds grow when they're buried. The audience falls silent, then erupts into applause. As music rises, the camera pans upward to the skyline of Fairview, once divided, now uncertain but hopeful. The screen fades to black, and the sound of a child's laughter lingers before the credits roll.